I'm about to show you this ridiculous Diablo 4 build, so you can do damage like this. Without further ado, let's jump straight into this video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Diablo 4 Twisted Blades Rogue Poison Imbuement build. And yes, this build is very nice. As you can see, I'm clearing tier 50 plus nightmare dungeons with this build at level 93. I believe if you maxed out Paragon Board with the right optimized gear and good aspects, I think you can easily push nightmare dungeons tier 100. And this is my Twisted Blades Poison Imbuement Rogue build. Without further ado, I'm going to stop wasting your time and I'm going to get straight into the build. In this build, I'll be showcasing my skill points, my Paragon Board, my gear, and the aspects I use on my gear, and also the gems I use on the gear as well. I'm going to be going pretty fast through this for the skill tree and the Paragon Board. I'm basically just going to pop them up on the screen for you guys. And I'm going to go through with a brief description of the skills that I chose for this build. For this build, you're going to want to run Puncture for this build. This allows you to make your enemies vulnerable. The next thing in the main part of this build is the Twisted Blades ability. You're going to want to max this out and take exactly what I took. When it comes to the rest of these skills that I have put into my skill tree, these are mainly for damage focusing skills. With that being said, you can definitely adjust these skills to, maybe you need more survivability in your build. Maybe you need more of this. Maybe you need more of that. Just adjust it to what fits your build. For mobility, I'm obviously going with the Shadow Step. For you guys, if you don't know, this actually stuns the enemy as well as it allows you to break crowd control. For my other abilities, I'm going to be taking Poison Trap. This is obviously nice because this build is strictly about poison damage. The Poison Trap actually knocks down enemies as well if you took the skill route that I chose. And for the main part of this build, we're going to be looking at Poison Imbuement. This is what does all your damage. You want to max this out and take exactly what I chose. This is the main aspect of the build, and you definitely want to revolve everything you do around the Poison Imbuement skill. For the next part of this build, you can actually fluctuate this between different things. If you want to run a defensive ability, you can, but I am actually running the Death Trap Ultimate. This is for AoE clearing mobs, clearing enemies when you're in the dungeon. It just makes it a little bit more convenient. You can group them all up and put them together and drop a Poison Trap on top of them, and you can also Poison Imbuement and they spin around you with the Twisted Blade, so it's really nice actually. And for the passive, I took Close Quarters. This is actually allowing you to stack a more attack speed, which is also really nice in this build. Without further ado, we're going to jump straight into the Paragon Board. I'm not going to really go through this one. I'm just going to pop it up on the screen. I'm just going to kind of make it fast. You can pause the video. You can do whatever you need to do. You can just copy my Paragon Board, or if you have different preferences, you can run your own Paragon Board. Alright guys, after the Paragon Board, we're going to go straight into the gear that I'm using and the aspects that is on my gear. This is my gear. I'm going to pop up on the screen. I'm going to go through it fairly quick. I'm just going to post it up there. You guys can pause the video, look at the gear. You can look at the stats, whatever you like. Basically, everyone's gear is going to vary, but this is the gear that I am running, and I'm going to show you the key aspects you're going to need for this build. I'm going to pop them on the screen right now. These are the main aspects that synergizes with this build really, really well. With that being said, the other aspects you run on this build can fluctuate. You can definitely change the aspects to whatever you guys prefer. And alright guys, in my last rogue build video, I actually didn't go over the gems that I use for this build. Honestly, you can use whatever gems you want, but personally the gems I like to use for this build, for weapons, all my weapons I use the Amethyst. And when it comes to the gear, I like using Topaz. This actually allows you to take reduced damage when you're crowd controlled, so it's really nice, especially on the rogue, because you don't want to get in a situation on higher nightmare dungeons where you just get crowd controlled and you just die instantly. It's terrible. With that being said, the best thing to throw in your rings and amulets are the skulls. That gives you extra armor. Everyone runs this. This is clearly the thing you want to throw on your amulets and rings. If you guys made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you watching. Let me know what you guys think about my rogue build. And if you guys are new here, I post daily Diablo 4 content, news, guides, updates, and builds. And if you enjoyed today's video, it would be greatly appreciated if you smack that like button. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Peace.